the bottom of our hearts, we thank ye for being here with us tonight. Now, prepare ye self, for tonight, in this most hallowed space, in this most hallowed space, the Globe Theatre, in London, England, in the year of our Lord, 1591, we are prepared to present to ye a brand new play by the greatest playwright in the English language, Master William Shakespeare. Ye knowest his earlier works, King Lear, Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, contemptuous drivel, compared to the work that the Master has prepared for ye tonight. And yet, I alone cannot present this feat of theatrical wizardry. Nay, nay, we can do nothing without a band of merry players. At once to the show we shall send our actors off into the murky mists. Off, actors, into the murky mists of the... Wait! Stay some of you and pray return. For I know our audience tonight is full of theater goers who love Master Shakespeare's work, and therefore we shall play a game and test our audience to see how well they know Mr. Shakespeare. Cast thine eyes upon these players, and canst thou tell from knowing his work so well, just by looking at the costume this player has himself adorned within. What job in 1591 in England he holds?
Crumpet seller.
Yes, he is a crumpet seller. Cast thine eyes upon that lady fair, and peer into her heart. She wants something more than anything in the world. Canst thou divine what Master Shakespeare has placed there as her life's driving ambition? Be careful, don't say it yet. Now, on the count of three, somebody shouted out anything at all. 1, 2, 3.
Animal welfare.
Yes! What did you say?
Animal welfare.
Animal welfare. Yes. That is absolutely right. You know the Master's work. She longs for animal welfare. So you know that has nothing to do with sex. And this gentleman here, cast thine eyes, look upon his furrowed brow, his steely glaze, his masculine mien. And tell me, can you guess what position in society, a position of great power, he holds?
Tax collector.
Yeah! He is the tax collector. And all must pay their taxes, for I do hate the untaxinated. My friends, sit ye back and cast thine eyes upon a play, replete with
A man who sells crumpets.
A woman who longs for animal
welfare.
A tax collector.
Canst thou guess the name of the play?
Lost love.
Yeah. Lost Love, subtitle, Animal Welfare. My friends, please enjoy Master Shakespeare's Lost Love.
Oh, my darling.
Mother, why hast thou called me to this garden? Tell me now.
Because you have come of age, and it's time for you to find a love.
Me a love?
Yes, methinks it is time. You are coming on age of 14.
Well, there is a boy.
A boy?
A boy whose eyes I have cast upon, whose own eyes has cast upon myself. Indeed, mother, I have been afraid to tell thee, but 'tis true.
Marguerite, you don't find the boy. I find the boy.
Mother, look at these roses right here. Seest thou the bud? That one, it has yet to bloom. Like myself, thou seest? 'Tis a metaphor, mother.
Do you take me for a fool, Marguerite? No, honestly.
Mother, 'tis my bud.
Your bud stays planted until I tell you when it gets plucked.
Mother, how couldst thou be so cruel? Leave me now in this garden.
Oh, Marguerite, don't you get it? I thought I trained you better. You are supposed to wait until your father and I have found a love for you. And the minute that we find the love for you, you will love that person. That's how it works.
Fine, mother. If that is how it works. Be away with ye. So,
Oh,
I might...
Marguerite, you sulk too much.
Ah,
Oh, Giorgio.
Esmeralda, Esmeralda.
Oh,
'Tis I, Peter.
oh, Peter.
I've come for today's collection, no less. Thou hast asked me to give thee another moon's time, and I am here now to collect.
Methinks that you came too early. I was to have all of it ready for you by, let's see, next year.
Next year, Esmeralda, methinks that thou dost not know as how collection works upon thy kingdom.
Esmeralda, be that the tax collector, I hear?
Yes.
My lord,
Thou hast come at an opportune time. Hast thou made him welcome, wife?
Well, I thought I did. I thought I told him to come back next year.
No. Nay, good my friend. Thou art most welcome in this garden. Sit thee down and rest thyself upon that there bench. Good wife, a mug of grog for our good friend. For you shall know, dear James, if I may by thy Christian name so do address you.
please.
James, you shall know that I have found a way to pay you what we owe.
For these words do bring pleasure upon mine ears, for it has been written, if thou hast not yet afforded thy tax, then thy home shall be rid.
Ha! Sir James, thou shalt weigh my home as light as a feather when thou dost see the weighty reward which waits you else. For you shall have my daughter.
Oh.
This be not a customary offering for the royal taxes, but an offer nonetheless that I do not immediately proclaim false.
Good Marguerite, standest thou,
Marguerite.
and greetest thou my friend Sir James.
Good evening, Sir James.
Good evening, my lady Marguerite. Thou art as beautiful as a ray of sunshine through a meadow's tree.
I know.
Thou art not the most humble of women. That does excite me, yes.
The Sir James, be it, thy smell hath not entirely repulsed me.
Ah, she is a woman of a golden tongue.
That be true. Well, if thou wishest for me to cancel thy tax with offering of marriage, then I accept.
Ah!
Oh, did you say cancel the tax?
Yeah, well, based upon our agreement, no less.
Yes, yes, I shall put it in writing at once.
Very well. Then immediately a wedding shall take place.
Nay, Father, no.
I bid thee farewell.
Father,
Marguerite,
how couldst thou do this to me? I have told you of my love for Giorgio.
I pray tame thy tiger tongue.
Father, thou hast planned with me many years that I would grow, I would bloom like the flowers into a beautiful love, one that I choose for myself, Father.
Marguerite, thou art a precious flower, and thou shalt pollinate, I promise thee. But thou must understand that there are weighty matters that thou, at thy tender age of 10 and 4, cannot countenance.
What things might I not understand at that age?
Pray, Marguerite,
It is nearly grown.
know that I am not a tyrant. I am and ever shall be the father that did bandy thee upon his knee and play with thee the coochie-coo.
And much like then, my backside hurts, for thou hast kicked me into this foul marriage.
Sweet girl, pray sit down. Knowest thou I love thee?
Yes.
Knowest thou I prize thee above all of Midas's fortune? For his touch I care not a whit should it stand twixt me and thee.
Then why? Wherefore, Father? That if thou carest for me so, that thou would trade me like I am a coin.
It doth my heart press like a grape beneath the hard wood of a wine press to do so. And yet knowest thou, if this tax be not collected, if James be not satisfied, then not only shall this house be taken from thy mother, who is of weak temperament and frail body, but I must linger for the rest of my life in jail.
No, Father.
Aye, for 'tis a bond that I did sign. Oh, foolish me, when the king did grant me this land. Pay thy taxes, quoth the king. I will, quoth I. Pay them on time, quoth the king. I swear, quoth I. For if thou dost not, thou shalt in jail linger and languish. I feared the remonstrance of such a bond, and yet my sweet wife was with child. And all I cared for was a home of safety where that sweet child should feel my love and comfort. Sweet Marguerite, I am old, and yet I love life, and do not wish to spend my golden days languishing in that rat-infested jail.
Father, if this is the price that I must pay for thee to live in this house that I have loved my whole life, then fine, but heartbroken I shall be, Father. Heartbroken indeed, and may my love for Giorgio live only in my mind, naked.
Me? Oh, I shall weep and shed a pail of water, for such is the pains of raising a daughter.
Good lords, good ladies, strumpets for sale. Good sir, wouldst thou pay a ducat for a strumpet?
A ducat for a strumpet. Had I a ducat, I would.
Very well, good sir, thou lookest, why, as blue as the deepest sea. Alight thyself of yon treat. Take thy pick, for I have many meat-filled treats here. This be the weasel-filled strumpet, I and here, strumpet of ferret.
Strumpet?
Trumpet, crumpet, crumpet, strumpets, crumpets. Let the trumpets blow, strumpets, crumpets. For I am strumpet, I is my surname.
You are strumpet,
I,
and you blow the trumpet
indeed, throughout the town.
to announce thy crumpet.
Thou hast the tail of it, good sir.
Well, if it be weasel, I want not the tail.
Ah. Well then, perhaps sink your teeth into this.
Thou hast brought a smile upon an old man's saddened cheeks. I welcome thee to my private garden, which thou did enter without permission.
In greatest forgiveness, I hope my gift shall serve as payment for my trespass.
Whence comest thou?
In truth, I didst hope to find a young woman here.
I have a young woman. She is my daughter, sir.
Aye, that explains it, for oft have I passed this way upon sundown, and have encountered the truest beauty that this earth did e'er see. Yet I see now the sun lowers itself below the hills, as my head lowers itself on these shoulders, for I have missed her today.
Is your name Giorgio?
Giorgio Strumpet! 'Tis my greatest pleasure to meet thee, sir, for if thou art the father of this world's greatest beauty, then thou art a fortunate man indeed.
Good Giorgio, thou ought knowest my daughter's hand is taken by another.
Oh, pierce not my heart with these foul words.
With such foul words I do pierce.
Oh! Tell me, this not be true, that thou art lying or playing some jape upon me.
Ah, would I were playing but a jape.
Then, I take back my crumpet, and I spit at thee, sir.
Nay, spit not! Swallow that clam-like ball of salivic mucus. Knowest thou that my heart to your will is united? For I see thee now, a man of goodly stature, with handsome face and kingly mien, in a profession of which we can speak and improve upon later. But thou dost seemest to be all that in my younger days I wished my daughter would love and wed. And yet, the cruel machinery that doth grind all mortal men to pulp hath me captured in its grasp.
Tell the tale of thy woes to my ears, sir. Oh, why hast thou promised thy daughter to another? Does she love another?
Nay, nay, yet he is the tax collector, and lest I give her hand to his, I in jail shall languish most pitifully.
I am a man of more than modest means from these trumpets, these crumpets, these.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whisper in mine ear the extent of thy debt. Yai, yai, yai!
And tuppence.
Then I see. For only such a debt as surmountable as that could force thee to give thy daughter's hand away.
Good sir, The plaintive tears within thine eyes has moved me much, and my own daughter's sweet caress upon my hand hath not left an imprint thus to be ignored. I tell thee this: if thou canst win my daughter's love, so much so that she would wed you with no promise of money,
Aye.
no promise of a home,
Aye.
no promise of a stable, healthy life.
Aye.
In short, if my daughter lovest thou so much that she would all the worldly weight cast off to live with thee in penury and poverty and who knows disease, then I shall bless this wedding.
Aye, ye gods, I thank thee for this blessing. Then I shall off to plan and think on the best ways of which to win thy daughter's heart. Oh, fates touch my heart and let me feel it pump it. I go through the town to sell these crumpets.
Sir James, yes, pray enter. I shall while away the hours in the walk to allow you to know each other better.
I thank thee. Marguerite, please, have a seat upon this bench.
I will do so, sir, but
This-
only because I had planned to already.
This be my mother, Lady Florentine.
Hello. It is so lovely to meet you. And this home, so lovely indeed.
Very lovely indeed, mother, for soon it shall be our home once this marriage takes place.
Pardon me. Thy home, thou sayest. Nay, 'tis the home of my father.
Aye, and once our marriage takes place, then I shall be in the midst of thy family. And of course, being in the midst of thy family through marriage, then we shall have a new home as well.
Indeed.
Indeed. And my mother has been brought here as well to show you the royal garments of beauty that is donned upon her.
And I do wish that you are good with needle and thread, for I do have many garments that need to be mended, and I do believe that would be part of this arrangement. Yes?
Aye. For a wife doth need to perform her wifely duties, no less. But aside from that, I am also here to give thee a gift. A necklace, gold and diamonds and emerald rubies.
And who didst thou take this from? In taxes, I assume?
Aye. But it has been in the family for many generations. And, mother, is she not the absolute splendor of beauty?
'Tis lovely. This necklace that you wear on your chest, be in our family for many, many years.
Yeah.
It belonged to me at one point, yes. And then, when my husband doth decease, I give it to my son to give to you.
For you are the most radiant of fair maidens which I have ever been blessed to lay my eyes upon.
I know. I thank thee, lady.
And your lack of humility I find intriguing and very powerful, not something that I see in most.
Oh, when a flower knows its beauty, it blooms bright for the world to see. I thank thee, lady, for
I will-
thy necklace, and I intend to do it well.
I will give thee a life that thou hast not yet lived. I will offer thee a life of absolute wealth, comfort, beauty, not only for thine own self,
And for my parents,
and for your parents as
my
well.
parents,
They will be taken care of.
they shall live in this house forever and continue to reap the benefits of this wonderful garden in which we stand.
Absolutely.
And my father, he will never have to worry about any taxes come due.
Never! The burden of taxes has been lifted off his shoulders.
And my mother, she can shelter many animals as she wishes.
Yes, If she wishes to turn our homestead into a farm, I will not disagree.
Even an ostrich.
Even an ostrich.
Well, indeed. Then I thank thee, and I thank thee for thy gifts, and thy wife I shall be. Now, if
Then-
thou wouldst part,
Yeah.
I do have one last meeting.
And I have one last utterance. For our wedding shall be taking place tomorrow night.
Giorgio, it's not far. He mustn't be.
I shall steel myself into the garden and listen a moment.
Oh, when I heard that trumpet blow, I wished, if only 'twere my lips that were the mouthpiece of said trumpet.
Oh, Marguerite.
And if only those were my crumpets he was stroking.
Thou art as hot to me as a fresh crumpet straight from the oven.
And he would butter me up, just like the crumpets. Oh, Giorgio's strumpet. Oh, 'twill be so sad.
I can bear it no longer, Marguerite.
Oh, Giorgio!
Oh, I have found thee here.
Long have I waited for thee.
Embrace me over yon crumpet tray. Allow me to remove this. I have brought thee thy favorite strawberry.
Oh, indeed. But Giorgio,
Yet it is none so sweet as you.
Giorgio, there's...
Allow me to set this aside. Yes. I have heard rumors of terrible news, Marguerite.
Thou knowest?
I know that thou hast been promised to another. But I also know that our love is truer than any love that has ever existed between man and woman.
'Tis true.
You, a woman of 14, me, a man of 16.
Though I wish not to hurt thee, Giorgio, I must marry another.
No, Marguerite.
Well, what sayest thou? That I run away with thee? That I cast away my life to live in poverty on the streets without any wealth? And to do the same unto my parents?
Oh,
Okay, maybe.
Marguerite, I have spoken to thy father earlier today, and he has said that should this love be true, that he would bless it. If thou wouldst agree to live with me, regardless of wealth or public standing or creature comforts, in sickness and in health.
Oh, my love, 'tis true, thou knowest this, and I would give thee that life forever. Imagine ourselves on the streets, trumpeting away.
Aye.
Crumpeting your strumpets, or strumpeting thy crumpets, whatever.
Hand in hand.
Making music and making pastries.
And thou wilt help me catch the little furry mammals upon which I use in my recipes.
And we can come upon gardens and nature, and look at the beautiful flowers like I see in this one of my father's home. The one which he had worked so hard for. And I could not visit him here. Nay, for he would be in the streets.
Marguerite, I have not a ring, but take this, my fanciest crumpet. And say yes to our love, and let none other trumpet. Wouldst thou take my surname, Strumpet? Have my hand in marriage.
Nay, no,
Thou sayest nay.
there.
Thou sayest mare? Hast thou become a horse? What sayest thou?
I say, nay.
Why?
Nay, Giorgio, it hurt me so, but nay, I apologize. This is our last meeting. It must be, for I cannot give my father the life of poverty. He hath worked so hard to keep this land and maintain it. And my mother, she would be so happy if she could have a fox here.
But Margaret,
although I could put myself in the future we have planned, I may not do that to my parents, for they would die. They could not survive.
Then thou wouldst wallow away in misery with this tax collector?
Aye. It won't be misery, for I will still be with my parents here at home and get a necklace.
That necklace would weigh down upon thy neck, and I dare say choke thee, for thou wouldst be burdened with the albatross of this false marriage. Very well. I shall return to the streets.
Okay. No, I cannot look at thee, Giorgio. Oh. But I pray thee, don't play thy trumpet near my window many a night, for it will be too hard.
I bid thee farewell, Marguerite,
One last look upon thy face.
for I am like a hand that has no glove. I see now thou art my lost love. Trumpets!
Oh, my darling Marguerite, I thought I would find you out here, but oh, methinks you despair.
I do, mother.
Oh,
I do,
darling.
but nay, 'tis all okay. For I am to be wed to a tax collector.
Well,
Certainly a decent life awaits us.
Yes, and it is high time that I had that talk with you about the birds and the bees.
Oh.
So, please sit down. It's going to be short. You see, when you are betrothed to someone that you must find love for, you need to fake your love for a long, long time.
Mother, didst thou do this with father?
Yes, I've yet to find that love, but I was told, and it's been passed down from mother to mother to mother, that I would find that love for him. I'm still looking. But I must tell you, I long for a different kind of love. Oh, nay, it is wrong, I must say. It involves animals. It isn't what you think. I just love them more than your father.
You mean thou carest for them in a way that thou lookest upon them so fondly as you would a sister
Yes.
or a daughter?
Yes. You understand. And so when I fake my love for your father, I've given myself many awards for how I do it because he believes me. You know, men are like that, really. That's what you must learn. That is about the birds and the bees. Fake it, and they will believe you.
I shall go to my room and fake it now.
Oh,
Be this true?
oh, you heard us.
Aye, thinkest thou I was a rock?
Well, I thought actually that you were a small furry pet sitting over there, so I didn't notice it was you.
Esmeralda, dost thou not love me?
I want to. I do. I want to love you. I've looked for that love, but when I look at you, I don't see it. Not really. But, you know, I love you like, methinks I love you like a friend.
Dear Esmeralda, I have my life to you devoted. Have I treated you ill?
No. No, nay, you haven't treated me
And yet thou chillest me to the bone to relinquish me to the friend zone.
Well, if the truth be told, when I fantasize, I picture you in an animal shelter. and then my heart just goes, and then I pretend to love you.
'Tis as though thou art across a chasm. Didst thou really think you?
Oh, I feel such shame because we've been together for so long, and I want desperately to love you.
And yet one cannot love where love loves not to love.
Well, love loves love, and love comes in different ways. I mean, there's man love, there's animal love.
Stop,
there's-
stay.
I was going to get to you.
Was I not the man?
You are the man of the house, and that's how it works now. You make all the rules. I just break them when you're not looking.
Esmeralda, without thy love, what carest I for this green garden? For I might as well my remaining years waste away in prison. For without thy love I am in prison, where else whither I wander?
But don't you see? It isn't all the time that I fake my love for you. It's just most of the time. I love when you're away.
Thou meanest this?
Yes, I do. Banish me if you will. Send me to an animal shelter. Oh, that would be the worst thing that could happen to me.
Nay, I assume, my lady, I must thank thee for disemburdening me of my delusion that I was loved. Where be Sir James? Sir James!
I heard you call upon me, my lord.
Knowest thou that I didst my daughter's friend Giorgio agree to let him wed should he win her love? Knowest too that she rejected him, for she doth have a natural love for me. And yet, I see now that all my pain was in vain, and there be naught for me upon this outside world. Marguerite! Marguerite!
Father?
I knowest thou hast denied thy Giorgio. Come here, my sweet.
I'll bid you adieu for now.
I will sit, but only because I planned to do so before.
Marguerite, thou art beautiful,
I know.
and thou art my love. And I know that thou hast denied thy Giorgio for me. Ask not how I know, 'tis complicated. But I know. However, I have sometime come to learn that all I wished to live for was a mirage, and didst evaporate as quickly as money upon the stock market. And therefore, I care not if I live in prison for the remainder of my years. I break this bond. I renege upon my officer. I take my daughter's hand back, and freely may thou givest it to your Giorgio.
Knowest the words with which you speak?
I speak them, and I speak them thrice. I renege upon my offer, one. I renege upon my offer, twice. I renege upon my offer, so sayest I thrice.
Then knowest that this be the greatest insult with which any man has fallen upon my head.
Well,
knowest this? that my guard here take this man in custody.
Nay!
For thou shalt now spend the remainder of thy years in a jail cell, rotting away from thy family, and this household will be banished and gone, and your daughter, you, shall live in poverty amidst the animals. Take him away.
Nay, father, nay!
Sweet Marguerite, embrace thy Giorgio and love him well, for as long as thou art in love, thou shalt never know hell.
Father, nay! No! Father! Oh, Giorgio! How I wish to hear thy trumpet of thy scrumpety trumpets. You are the only one who I can dream of. Giorgio!
My love, Marguerite, I did hear from over that garden wall my name. From the mouth of the most beautiful angel, what troubles thee?
Giorgio, didst thou wait for me along the wall of the garden all this time? Is that how much thou lovest me?
Yes!
I did look out my window many upon those 20 minutes we have been separated. And every time I did hear a trumpet, I thought of thee, Giorgio. The contract is null and void. I shall not be married. I shall live in poverty.
Then thou art free to marry me.
Yes, of course, Giorgio. But I cannot live in this happiness. Not while my father rots away in prison.
I am most aggrieved to hear about your father's plight. But couldst thou not fake it? Couldst thou pretend to be happy, hand in hand, as we march through the streets?
I tell thee this, Giorgio. I did fake it many times in my bedroom just now. And I find I am no good at it. Giorgio, I wish nothing more than to marry thee, but I wish to do so with my father at my side, to witness our marriage. We need to get him out of prison. Otherwise, I shall never be happy.
Then I swear it, here and now, under the full moon, Marguerite, I shall do whatever it takes to get thy father out of prison. Whatever it takes.
'Tis time now for an intermission. Praise! Take thy time and ponder, for the crisis of our play has risen. Take a break, stretch your legs, but think of me, who pines away in prison.